Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the town board meeting of the town of Newcastle. It's January 28th, 2025. The board has been in executive session, and I would like to ask for a motion to open the public session with first our work session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are going to start off with Jill Shapiro, who's gonna give us the quarterly project update.
Okay, thank you. That's interesting. We'll just switch. Interestingly, we started with our FEMA projects and I don't quite know what to say about them. As Jeremy suggested, maybe we should categorize it as the agency formerly known as FEMA. So Upper Minkle Dam, the pedestrian bridge replacement, Byram Lake Road culvert replacement, and the Shether Road slope stabilization and stormwater improvements are all projects where we received initial FEMA funding. There was to be an opportunity for us to apply for additional FEMA funding to make up the rest of the cost of the projects. I don't know where that stands right now, in all fairness. So it seems odd to me to continue to talk about these when we just don't know what the funding is, but yeah, that's where we are. The pedestrian bridge replacement and Shether Road, we have gone out for to actually start the projects and awards the bids. We're in the midst of exercising our due diligence on both those projects, and we're hoping that by next board meeting, you are the best, thank you.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see.
It was a little hard to say.
For some of us.
Even with the glasses. Anyway, for those two projects, as I said, we're in the midst of doing our due diligence and we're hoping that by next town board meeting that we will have an award to be able to recommend to you.
Jill, can I ask, as to future funding, do you have any numbers? I mean, I see some numbers for the pedestrian bridge.
So the pedestrian bridge, I can tell you right now that FEMA awarded us, just over $1 million. The project is over twice that. And so it's going to be a while.
So we need at least another million, but by the time we get to it, it will probably
Be more.
be.
Right, no, it's gonna be another million in change and at a minimum. And before the current FEMA situation, we were going to be in a position to apply for additional funding and we had been assured that we would receive it. I don't know what those assurances are worth at this point. I don't know if I would rely upon them. The projects have to get done. This is damage from Storm Isaiah. And we have a closed pedestrian walkway. It's gotta be restored. So we will be doing these projects. We hope that FEMA funding will become available and the promises that were made to us will be kept, but it's a day by day sort of situation. So that's where we are with those. I wish I had better news for you on that, but
We'll wait till the next quarter.
yeah, and hopefully things will settle down a bit.
Yeah.
The next The next set of projects are water infrastructure projects. And we can start with the North Bedford Road Pump Station. At this point, we've awarded the contract back in May of 2014. The submittals were approved by the Department of Health and we're waiting, we have a long lead time for electrical equipment. This is the replacement of the pumps at the station. So we're just waiting on them. And that project continues. The trenchless water main is the replacement of the aging water main under the Metro North Railroad and Sawmill Parkway. We have been able to complete 2 of the borings. One additional boring is located between the northbound and the southbound tracks. That requires a separate excavator and permitting from Metro North Railroad, and we're waiting on our contractor to proceed. We've got ongoing schedule of replacement of water mains for Dunbow, Winwood, Park Drive off of Douglas, Spring Road, Martha Place. And construction is to be determined on those. That's probably the next set that we've been doing. We have cement lining on certain water mains. We are going to be able to we need to be able to go out and issue an RFP. That's actually the next project up for us. Over the past year, we took and replaced the water mains on Meadow, Pinecliff, Ridge, and Alden. The new water main replacements were completed in fall of 2024. The roads were repaved, Pinecliff, Ridge, and Meadow. Alden, we actually installed that new water main ourselves, and Alden and Winthrop have been repaved. And we're just waiting, just paperwork on the Department of Health final approvals. We've got the Millwood Water Treatment Plant. There's a heating oil tank replacement project. We're trying to get rid of all of our underground tanks and move them above ground. So we need to issue an RFP on that for a consultant.
Jill, what's the timing on the RFP?
For that, I have to ask Bart, but I think it's in the next couple of months. The Quaker Road water main replacement project. So this is actually, it's on two places on our current projects because we're working in conjunction with the county. So hold off on that for 2 seconds and I'll be right there with it. The other infrastructure projects, we've got the Millwood Water Treatment Plant, the generator replacement. We're waiting on the delivery of a manual transfer switch to complete the project. Everything else is done. The roof has been completed. We have completed the generator fuel tank replacement for the Millwood Water Treatment Plant for that generator. The final payments to Pepito were released last meeting. We released the retainage and we've closed out the project. The Chappaqua Performing Arts Center, this was a $125,000 SAM grant from care of Assembly and Burdick. That project is complete. The solar installation, we have gone out to bid on for the solar design and installation. That was issued and we hope to be awarding it within the next month. The auditorium fixtures, the interior auditorium ceiling fixtures will be converted all to LED dimmable. Our in-house electrician, Dan Rubino, is going to be starting that project first week in February. February 6th to March 14th, Chapac is going to be closed so that we can take and actually get that work done. We're very excited about it. And that was care of a $100,000 grant from Senator Harcum. We thank him very much for that. Also at Chapac, we completed drainage improvements, a new gas line, and the parking lot and walkway improvements, and the curbing have been completed. The last piece are the handrails for the ADA compliant ramp, and we're completing that in-house. Getney Park was completed. Millwood Park, work was awarded to S&P Consultants. We did work on the playground. We installed an ADA compliant path to the playground. That too has been completed, and we're waiting on the installation of the handrails.
We didn't get to that surround of the playground.
That yes.
It was in disrepair and it
Yes.
was unfortunate because everything was so,
Everything
new
was
and
pristine.
then that.
The path has not been put in at that point, and then
Okay.
they were waiting for all the heavy equipment to leave the area before they took and restored that.
Great, okay.
Let's see. Next is our chap line. As the board is aware, we had received a $500,000 CSC grant back in 2022, and finally received our $5 million TAP grant earlier this year.
That comes from the feds to the state?
Yeah, but it's through transportation, so that money, I believe, has been dispersed.
It has, okay.
Yeah, there was more than a little bit of angst going around the office this morning, going, where is that? Yeah. Okay, backhaul truck, we finally received $325,000 grant, water quality improvement grant, for the vac truck that plays for approximately 50% of it. On the agenda this evening is a draft letter to East of Hudson requesting the balance of East of Hudson funds to pay the remainder.
Yeah, this is so important. I just wanna really thank the
I don't know.
staff and Sabrina.
Oh, you don't have to bring it up, but thank you. Appreciate it, great team.
Yeah.
Putting together.
Could you
Okay,
take
I
the-
think,
Well,
If you
I
want,
don't think
grab
he's
the
chiming into
balloon
this.
Whoops.
But it sounded perfect timing though, right?
It was.
He's like-
I thought he was thanking someone.
Paul, you're on.
And you mute yourself.
Now you're on.
All right. Yeah, I just wanna thank Sabrina and everyone else because it's been it's just been such a long haul to get to this vac truck, which is expensive, and we want to cooperate with East of Hudson and the state. Stormwater, is very stringent requirements, but it's for a good cause. But municipalities really need help. These are expensive projects, so.
Next off is a proposed 120 sidewalk extension to the south entrance of Wagon Road Camp. We were trying to do this in conjunction with the county extension of their sewer main up 120, and also the town was piggybacking onto that with a water project. We were replacing a water main at the same time. Unfortunately, we were not able to resolve the mid-block crossings. The presence of a number of village homes on both sides of the street, just too close to the road, prevented us from being able to install a sidewalk. So we have the feasibility study. If something changes in the future, we can always take and revisit it, but at this point, we had to hit pause on this.
Yeah, I think it's hard for people to visualize and understand sometimes. We cannot do a sidewalk in this case. We would have to take in people's driveways. Literally, there was no room. And difficult curves where you would have to cross a dangerous street to continue the sidewalk.
Snow
So
shelf.
there are,
They don't have the
and,
space for this proper snow
yeah.
shelf.
I mean, we really want to build sidewalks, so there are a lot of impediments to it.
Okay, I'm just gonna jump around a little bit because I realize that the next one is projects within Newcastle, but their DOT. Let's see. We've got proposed sewer service at Amsterdam Park. The project is gonna be done this coming year, so we should keep an eye out for that. It's on the engineering list of things to do. Along with town hall parking lot improvements, we're gonna be working with the garden club to beautify a little bit of the front of town hall while we're figuring out exactly when the wholesale improvements will be done. Let's see. We have a feasibility study for 133 between the North County Trailhead and Gedney Park. We actually have a complete streets study that we did, let's see, 2 to 3 years ago, right in the midst of COVID, trying to take and connect the sidewalk in Millwood with Gedney Park, which we think would just be fabulous. And engineering will be working on that this year. They're also gonna be working on the feasibility study for an RFP for the sidewalk on the east side of Bedford Road, 117, between the north side of Salem Road and the south side of the Noble gas station. The fire department is actually required to put in a crosswalk between the mobile station and the firehouse as part of their improvements. And so we're gonna try to take and coordinate some of our efforts with theirs. And then we've just got some odd and end things, a water main replacement extension along a portion of Barnes and Ryder Road. Recycling, Parks Garage, we've got some building repairs, we've got a boiler replacement project at CPAC, and town hall roofing repairs. The next page has to do with a number of current projects that are gonna be affecting Newcastle, or actually taking place in Newcastle, but they're not all projects. The first one has to do with New York State DOT. As the board is aware, we completed in October of 2023 that first of the replacement culverts. There are additional culverts that have to be replaced. There's one along 117 by Old House Lane. The proposed construction for that is gonna be 2025 or 2026, we just had a meeting with the state about that. And there is another culvert at the Sawmill Parkway entrance between Quaker Road Bridge and the Horace Greeley statue. And that's actually gonna require a couple of weekend closures of that entrance of the Sawmill Parkway. But again, anticipated for either 2025 or 2026, and there'll be far more information coming to you about that. County projects, also in the same general area, we've got the relief sewer on John Corwin Way. It received Department of Health approval, but they have not gone out to bid yet. We're very concerned about that project and we're watching it closely because we have another project, the extension of the county trunk along 120, where the town is also piggybacking and replacing that water main. We wanna make sure that the projects are staggered so that they don't overlap with the relief sewer. That's just too much construction in a very small area. The federal government projects, we were allotted $2.6 million for engineering and environmental permits for elimination of the grade crossing at Roaring Brook Road and Sawmill Parkway. We're hopeful that will continue.
I just wanna clarify that that's not going to be technically a town project.
Oh, that is not at all a town project, that is the federal government.
Yeah.
The federal government and the US DOT. And so we're hopeful that those funds will not be interrupted. Again, we will have a seat at the table when these projects are discussed and planned, and we have had input on the state and Westchester County projects thus far. I don't know how much input the federal government is gonna take from us when we're doing this, but at least this is the engineering studies at this point, so that's gonna take a little bit. So there won't be boots on the ground here. Anyway, are there any other, I know we're running a little bit late, I'm trying to speed talk as best I could. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, I'm happy to clarify anything. Otherwise, we can go through quite a few administrative items.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate the update.
Okay, thank you, Jill.
Alright. We have retroactive payment of claims for checks dated January 17th and January 24th, 2025. We've got authorization to award bid for the Chapac Solar Project. This is for the one vendor that actually meets the state qualifications. We've got authorization to enter into agreement with Chappaqua Central School District for the use of facilities for our 2025 summer camp. It's gonna be at Roaring Brook School. Authorization to rent a bathroom station trailer for 2025 summer camp. We're hoping this will be the last year that we have to do a trailer because we're gonna be installing a sewer out in Amsterdam. We've got authorization to solicit bids for 2025 camp bus transportation services. Authorization to purchase an unmarked civilian police vehicle. Authorization to close capital projects for 2013 and 2014 IT equipment upgrades. Authorization to close a capital project for DPW truck wash facility project, as well as DPW facility fuel dispensing system purchase. Authorization to approve a letter to the Westchester County regarding the funds for the vacuum truck, that's the East of Hudson funds we spoke about. Authorization to use town property, that's the Rotary. authorization to approve the 2025 to 2027 CAI tax mapping contract for the assessor. Authorization to accept vehicle auction results from DPW, authorization to enter into a consent and release regarding Newbury Dam, and authorization to approve stormwater maintenance and easement agreement for the project. Any questions?
Questions?
No.
No? Okay. Thank you, Jill. Self-explanatory. Okay, so may I have a motion to adjourn the work session and open the town board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're now officially at our town board meeting. We have a few public hearings, but before that, Jill, are there any announcements?
Yeah, I do have a couple if that's okay. 2024-2025 school taxes are due Friday, January 31st, that's this Friday. Excuse me, the tax office will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I do wanna note that this will be the last school tax collection that our tax office is going to be open those extended hours. We have a drop box down at the first floor of town hall right inside the police station where you can drop your tax check 24/7. It will close at 7 o'clock on the 31st. We have an online payment system that allows you to pay up to $11.59 on the 31st. Please don't test the system. It really does work, but it you know, not everybody's clock is exactly the same. So let's call like by 11:30, you know, if you could manage to make the last payment, that would be good.
Or today.
Or today, really today? Thank you so much.
Trust me.
Alright.
It's a reminder for himself.
You would know, but
Would not know. So just to remind people that your entire tax bill is actually due on September 1st. You get a 30-day grace period for the first half and a 4-month grace period for the second half. That means that when you are a day, and I'm gonna put that in quotes, late, so you pay it on February 1st, it's 4 months late. And that's why your penalty is 10%. Think about your tax bill, think about 10%. Please put your tax in the mail, see them stamp it, put it in the lockbox downstairs, bring it into town hall. We'll hold it for you till Friday. And if you have any questions, please call the tax office on 914-238-4773 or email us at taxes@mynewcastleny.gov. Okay. Summer camp registration this Saturday, February 1st at 9:30. If you haven't already gone online to set up an account prior to Saturday and you intend to register for summer camp, there's gonna be in Thursday's e-newsletter, there's a link here, but you need to set up the account to facilitate your registration. So if you have any questions, just call the rec office, they'll talk you through it, it's 238-3909. And again, there's a link, it'll be in the administrator's report on Thursday e-newsletter.
Jill, can I just clarify for 1 second?
Sure.
Even if you already have an account, we've changed systems. So if you think you're good because you already have a Parks and Rec account, you're not. You have to create a new one. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you so much, Ally, that's absolutely 1,000%, yes, thank you.
Yep.
I will clarify this in there as well. And last but not least, we have paid summer internship opportunities. The Millwood Water Treatment Plant internships, that's the Mike Martis internship, there are 2 of them. They carry stipends between $4,800 and $7,200, funded by Veolia, and they take 1 resident of Newcastle, 1 resident of the Village of Pleasantville. These are for engineering students. The full details of those internships will be listed in my administrator's report. We also have Town of Newcastle internships, which is a $2,000 stipend for 6 weeks. If you're a Newcastle resident and you've completed 1 year of college, you're eligible to apply for these 6-week paid internships. Our engineering department is looking for assistance with stormwater reporting requirements. Our planning department is looking for assistance with projects, and our town clerk and receiver of taxes also looking for help. So if you know any college students who are not sure what they want to do for the summer, please ask them to apply. We'd love to have them.
And they can get information on how to apply online?
Yes. Thank you. It'll be right in my report.
is that it?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, and for the supervisor's report, I just wanna mention a few things. I wanna remind everyone that there is a special election coming up to fill the unexpired term for the Westchester County Executive position. George Latimer is now happily serving the 16th US Congressional District. So election day is February 11th. Early voting begins Saturday, February 1st through Sunday, February 9th. And I urge everyone to go on the Westchester County Board of Election website to find your polling locations. Secondly, I want to announce that or remind everyone the MLK Junior program, which was previously scheduled for January 19th and was snowed out, has been rescheduled for this Sunday, February 2nd. It will be at a different location. It will be at Chapac. The Committee for Inclusion and Belonging is sponsoring this with the Chappaqua Library. It will feature the documentary Following Harry, which was featured at the 2024 Tribeca Film Festival. It's regarding Harry Belafonte, who was a civil rights pioneer and had a relationship with MLK Jr. There will be a panel discussion with the film director, Suzanne Rostock. We will have the Bronx Bethany Church Choir singing. They are a beautiful, wonderful choir. And we'll have a live artist, Polly Nassar. I've been pleased to be the liaison to this with Jen Klein. Jen, is there anything that I'm forgetting about this event?
The snacks.
Yes. Okay, I knew I missed something. Thank you. I also want to remind everyone that a wonderful Lunar New Year celebration will be happening at Chapac on Saturday, February 1st. Actually, Lunar New Year begins on Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. It's the Year of the Snake. It is a significant holiday for the Asian American community, and it's about adaptability, renewal, and innovation, and we could all use some of those great features, for our town and our work here. This will be sponsored by the library and the town of Newcastle, and it will be Saturday, February 1st at 3:30 p.m. at Chapac. And finally, we have a birthday message request, and I want to wish a happy first birthday to Madison Mayton, and her birthday will be Saturday, February 1st. So happy birthday, Madison. First birthday is always so exciting, especially for the parents. So that's all I have for the supervisor's report for now. Jill, do you have anything further for the town administrator's report?
No, that's it.
Okay. Let's see. So now we have public comment, new business. This is not for the public hearings we have on the agenda. This is general public comments. So if there's anyone in the audience who'd like to make a public comment, please come up to the microphone. Yes, okay. And please state your name and where you reside.
Greetings, I'm Victoria Alzapidi, I live at 65 Seven Bridges Road. I wasn't planning to mention this, but I heard today that Martin Wilbur is resigning from the Examiner and they're closing down their paper edition. Yeah, very sad. So I just wanted to acknowledge him, and I've been in this room with him so many times. He's covered the ward, the town so well. He's such an amazing journalist, and that's going to be really a true loss for everyone. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him.
Yeah, thank you for
Victoria.
mentioning that, Victoria. I did,
Is he
post up on Facebook. So
Is he
no,
resigning or is it just
what's
going
going on
I
is
think
the-
not in print.
today was the last print issue of the Examiner.